I think the one aspect of films in 2023 that has become crystal clear for me is the effectiveness of a good trailer and how it is the most influential trigger for audiences to storm into theaters on the opening weekend. With most of the analysis that is found on the age demographic and gender of the audience that purchase tickets for the big movie experience, it has been found that the majority are males between the ages of 18 and 35. With the dissemination of the internet across the country, most are aware about the trailer and it's considered to be the catalyst that leads to the purchase of the ticket. More the impression, the consumer is compelled to purchase the ticket sooner rather than prolong that decision for a later date. Through this video, I wanted to speak about how the audience's interest peaked due to an effective trailer and how certain marketing snippets of movies have actually let it down, having a lukewarm or abysmal response for the initial weekend. This purely from a quality and editing standpoint piqued my interest as the Merry Christmas trailer dropped recently. You also let me know before I dive further which trailer for you this year in 2023 from Hindi cinema had the most impact, because of which you wanted to purchase the ticket right on the opening day. I am an avid fan of Sriram Raghavan movies, for the campy nature of his screenplay, for the homage to vintage cinema, for the self-aware nature of its wackiness and the storytelling twists that he formulates in a layered screenplay, something that he has done so effectively with thrillers like Johnny Gadar and Andhadhun. Merry Christmas presented this unique duo of Katrina Kaif and Vijay Sethupathi, providing the same zany pitch of most Sriram Raghavan movies, presumably shedding light on the events that take place in one night. What fascinated me the most about the Merry Christmas trailer is the difference in treatment between the Hindi and Tamil trailer. While the Hindi trailer presented Katrina and Vijay interacting with one another, having an odd sense of attraction while still holding on to the mystery of their identity, it seemed more like a comedy of errors that would follow as new characters are introduced and shit that hits the fan in every sense. The Tamil trailer, however, had supernatural undertones, almost a case of a twisted time travel Tyagarajan story, much like what he executed in his modern Love Chennai short. The same character seems to be played by different actors, and it makes me wonder whether both the renditions of the film will be different. Actually, the Tamil one generating more interest within me just because of the mind-bending undertones it hinted at. What's fascinating about trailers like this is that it piques just enough interest due to the talent associated with it. It gives exactly the pitch at which the film will be presented, and most importantly, still gives you nothing about the relationship dynamics between the characters and what exactly it may be about. This, I believe, is just the perfect balance that a trailer can leave you with, especially with its target audience who are avid fans of thrillers that immediately generate theories of its storyline, climax, and characters. This year, however, the trailers have really generated a make it or break it situation for their films, especially on the opening weekend. Let's start with the worst category first. I think some of the worst impressions were created by remake films this year that offered nothing entirely special compared to the original source material, barring Bhola that at least from the promos were trying to do something different versus Kaithi. Movies like Shehzada and Selfie had an immediate lack of interest from the viewer. This is also hilarious because a perception was being created that after Bhool Bhulaiya 2, Kartik Aaryan is this dependable box office lead, but it became pretty clear that one should take everything, the success and failure of any project, as transient versus believing one's own hype. The lukewarm marketing snippets represented the quality of the films too, flat and making audiences move on swiftly onto the next movie title. A case study for most Dharma films is that if they're doing city tours and promoting across the country, you know it's a red flag. It was sure the case with Selfie, and just the lack of an impression Karthik made in making an Allu Arjun box office hit his own made Shehzada come crashing down in just a few days of its release. The most abysmal results, however, were of Kisi Ka Bhai Kisi Ki Jaan and Adipurush, movies that were terrible both from a marketing point of view and in terms of their quality. I have not seen a marketing of a film cause so much self-sabotage than was the case with both these films. The lack of effort in each frame of Kisi Ka Bhai Kisi Ki Jaan was abundantly clear, making even loyal Salman fans frustrated on how this could be approved as a feature film. Its sorry attempt at being a pan-Indian film with its casting choices and the sleepwalking nature of Salman's act did not cause any waves whatsoever. I actually believe in hindsight it did more harm than good for Tiger 3. Adipurush, however, was a colossal failure, generating outrage and so much backlash, making it even worse when the director and writer went on an apology tour across news channels. No CGI enhancement, no press screenings in 3D could change the audience's mind, and one saw the film crash and burn immediately after its opening weekend. This is something that I feel for Ganpat too. There seems to be a consistent feature with anything related to Puja films. If promised to be a big-scale sci-fi extravaganza, then you should be alarmed because it will be the most low-effort CGI high-concept film known to mankind. Ganpat was precisely that, and you have been warned about this for the future projects as well. Shockingly, something I think Shahid Kapoor is associating himself with later. There is also a category of films that consist of trailers or marketing snippets that are just lukewarm in nature, neither being clear standouts or duds. This has only two reasons. Either the mid-quality of the film is so much so that the marketing has barely anything extraordinary to choose from in order to excite the audience, or it just falters in capturing the essence of the film. There are two films that worked in opposite ways regarding this same theme when you look at the marketing versus the quality of the film. Tu Jhoote Mein Makar essentially had the same love ranjan tropes we have seen in all of his films, and I actually think that the film did the business it did because the music did wonders for it. The dance numbers and emotional tracks actually being a key contributor to its mid-level business versus the storytelling, which actually only went in full gear in its last act. In contrast, I think Rocky Aur Rani's marketing barely reflected on the gems dispersed in its screenplay, and it was only after exploring the film did one realize that the marketing really went wayward in highlighting some of its memorable moments that could have easily been used as triggers to excite the audience. The two highly anticipated films that essentially were reflective of the mid-quality of the stories were Tiger 3 and Dunki. Both films starring huge superstars barely caused the waves that one anticipated with its trailers because there was not really anything highly exhilarating or intense or emotional that could excite the viewer. The case of Saving Pakistan's Democracy and a comedy of errors that barely highlighted the plight of immigrants in foreign nations, only at a surface level expanding on their love for their home, led to both films acquiring an average stature with the viewers. The marketing could only do so much when the quality of stories only don't match up to the anticipation that viewers had. The last tier that I would imagine is the outstanding category. I think the outstanding category also has two subcategories: the movies that are event films and those that are highlighting social topics or real events. And if I were to start with the latter, I think movies like Mrs. Chatterjee vs. Norway, Satya Prem Ki Katha, Oh My God 2 and 12th Fail did an absolutely spectacular job with its marketing campaign. These are the films that also broke the myth that only star-led high-octane action films are working in 2023. Solidifying further the faith in the makers that if you present a solid social drama, people will tune in with a positive word of mouth, which will in turn progressively lead to a favorable box office number. The stories laid focus on not only taboo subjects but tales that were inspirational and left many theatre-going folk teary-eyed. This is something I wanted to emphasize on, that often in the comments people dismiss 2023 just to be a year of action films, but these films released in the same calendar year and left a solid impression. I think of the high-octane commercial films, the marketing of Gadar 2 actually doesn't get enough credit. A terrible film in my opinion, yes, but that's just my opinion. But the build-up to the film's release was nothing short of a masterstroke, allowing for the right amount of nostalgia and fan service for those who loved and celebrated the original film. The return of Sunny Deol was anticipated and celebrated by everyone. A masterstroke also included re-releasing the first film too just a few weeks before. The music just seemed like an homage to the original versus underwhelming remakes. It broke the notion that a franchise has to be relevant to the current times, as everyone after more than 20 years celebrated it across India. The event film that really made A Star's Return worthwhile, however, all started with Pathaan. This will honestly be written in the history books on the evolution of Hindi cinema. When the chips were down and everyone dismissed the industry to be a dying one, A Star returned to make the theatres a celebration among the masses. Each snippet of the film generated discourse and debate. Each song song, a moral discussion on values and patriotism, and it all worked in favor for that Friday being a no-debate outing for most for the big screen. This was further enhanced with a brilliant way in which Red Chillies built the hype for Jawan. Attlee, with his commercial sensibilities, brought a treatment to a Hindi film star that the North Indian states had especially not seen, and the glimpses from the trailer and songs were enough. But if I were to really pinpoint on the cause and effect of a trailer triggering fans to immediately watch a film and be intrigued, it has to be of Animal. Even after 27 days, the movie, its impact and its themes it focused on is an active discussion. Hell, people like and dislike people now dependent on how they feel about the film. Irrespective of that, the pre-teaser, the teaser and the trailer is something to take notes from on how to build the anticipation for an A-rated action film. The music became a rage, the score was something that everyone played on repeat, the reels dedicated to the film's trailer cuts were on everyone's feed. I genuinely think the trailer's impact had a significant contribution to the gargantuan numbers the film did in its opening weekend. This year really made me feel that the trailer can make or break the fate of a film on its opening weekend. The impact of it is something that shouldn't be discounted, as if everyone relies on just word of mouth or a star featuring as the lead being enough, it's a naive approach that can cost a project millions. And that was the video, guys. Write down in the comments below which you think was the most impactful trailer of 2023 from Hindi cinema. Please don't forget to follow me on Instagram, the handle's right in front of you. Follow me at JammyPants4. Also, please support us by smashing the like button and subscribing to our channel for weekly content ahead. Thank you for watching.